Ladies and gentlemen, as of late, I have been making a lot of videos in the playlist called How to Lose at Chess, and a lot of it is viewer submissions, and you guys just send me games that you play, and they are pretty hilarious, pretty amazing, and we can learn things while we laugh, cry, and really question why we play this game at all. And the game from today is really no different. Shout out to Guilherme from Brazil. I hope I'm pronouncing that at least somewhat correctly for setting this game. I mean, this really just blew my mind. Our protagonist is a gentleman from Brazil, rated 578, and the antagonist is the Queen Machine, as you are going to see why Black got nicknamed that. Now, both these players are rated about 500 and are awarded honorary Grandmaster titles, and since we are watching a game played by 500s, we obviously need the eval bar, because I don't know what the hell is going on, and I'm sure you don't either. So, a good start to the game with the moves d4, d5, and here Guilherme uncorks the deep preparation with the move e4. Now, e4 could just be a clean blunder of a pawn, but I actually think that he's playing the Black Mardimer gambit, which is a very legitimate gambit. Knight c3, and now Black responds with f5. I kind of like this move, saying I'm not going to give you the pawn back. Slightly better to probably develop a knight. But you know what? We don't hate this. F3. So obviously, listen, we got some good opening preparation here. E takes F3 is on the way. Now, you know, White actually has a clear advantage because even though being a pawn down, Black has moved this F pawn, which means the king is weak. White is going to play bishop c4, queen e2, castles obviously not because White is 500. So White is going to do God knows what, right? So queen d6. But also Black is going to do God knows. What are we doing? What? Why are we bringing the queen out on move 5? For who? Y'all gotta stop doing this, please. I am sick. My voice is almost gone. Stop bringing the queen out. Now, by the way, White's best plan is still to play bishop c4, queen e2, and castle. Just kind of leaving this queen here. But White's got to bite, right? So White plays the move knight to b5. And now, thank God, Black does not play queen d5 or queen e6 at least would have been a check. But, you know, knight c7. No, just kidding. Queen e6 is absolutely played. This is a check, and this is very luckily not blundering a full queen. Guilherme blocks, and now queen c6. Queen c6 defends c7. Now, obviously, White should just continue forward. That move looks like it blunders g2. It doesn't because there's knight c7 and also bishop to f3. And Black just gets blown off the board. You just can't play only with your queen. I like this move d5. I don't hate this move at all. Queen d7. And now we can continue to attack the queen. We can go castle. We can develop a bishop to basically create almost an unstoppable threat of taking on c7. But Guilherme here realizes, oh my god, both of my pieces are hanging, so I have to play this move, even though both of those pieces were protected, and we're just simply in no danger whatsoever. But you know what? c4 is not a losing blunder. It's just a move that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Now Black kicks the knight out. All right, I don't hate this move at all, and plays the move g6. Now let it be known that this is now 10 moves that we have played. Black has not moved anything besides pawns and a queen. I don't really know what basics Black was taught, but Black's got to move those knights and bishops, and soon, because Guilherme is like 2 moves away from just being completely winning just by development. Bishop f4, fantastic stuff. You would think at some point that Black would look at White's play and go, oh, that's how it's supposed to go. Okay, so c5. Now here we can pass some forgiveness. You know, obviously White saw this. White should be taking en passant by force, but as a 500, you don't actually know that, so instead you play the top engine move instead of taking en passant. Now, the knight on e6 is very powerful, pressures this, and, you know, this is move 12, and this is really what happens when you don't develop any of your pieces, beginners. And according to my statistics, 40% of my viewers are actually below the level of 800. So y'all should be really paying attention, because if you see yourself in the queen machine, that's a problem. That's a really big problem. Also, knight e5 probably traps the queen in like a move, because queen d6, and then there's like knight g6 or something. I mean, it's really bad. Black plays b5, still completely unashamed, only pushing pawns, has not really brought the courage among, to themselves, and now is a rook down. A clean rook down, but still continues just to move pawns. Now, White can rescue the knight. White can take a free knight. White can play knight e5. White can play bishop c4. And Guilherme does one of those moves by bringing the knight back and then proceeding to capture the pawn on c4. Now, White is just a full rook up. But if you know anything about these games, you know that even though we're 5 minutes into the video and one of the players has a full rook advantage, you know that absolute crazy shit is about to happen. Like, I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're a kid and a parent, if you just heard me curse, there was no way I could have sugarcoated it, all right? Like, sometimes you gotta say it like it is. Now here, black finally, on move 16, develops a bishop. Golly. Knight g5, and now moves the bishop again, and blunders the exact same fork on that side of the board as they did on the other side. I mean, it's unbelievable. And plays king e8, obviously, because you got to slide over. And actually here, there's an even better move than taking the rook. But naturally, white's like, I took that rook. I might as well take that rook too. I'm 500. I don't know any better. There's actually this move. One of the knights can go to d6. And sometimes you can fork a king and a queen. Even if you lose the knight, you have another knight as backup, and then you take the queen. It's pretty cool. But okay, knight h8. Don't hate it at all. Now, folks, let's do a little bit of basic math. Do you give up 5? Do you get 5 but give up 3? Or do you take 3 for nothing? Let's do a little 5 minus 3, 2. 3 minus 0 is 3. Which one is more? Yeah, you got to take the knight. You got to go backwards. But I'm not so sure either of these players know pieces go backwards. Although I think Guillermo got a little bit lucky and did this. Particularly if you click on the piece and you can tell it's legal moves, then you actually do know pieces go backwards. But okay. Now, this is what? Move 20. White has a 6-point material advantage. Black hasn't moved any of the pieces off the back rank. Queen b4, and still proceeds to not move the pieces off the back rank. Nothing can be taken, so the queen goes back. And now I would just go queen g7. I would just fully infiltrate with the queen. But listen, Guillermo's a principled 500. Oh, I haven't castled. Move 22. Ugh. Oh, God, I got to play short castle. Okay, queen takes d5. White gives up a pawn, but black still is not moving any of the pieces. Knight back to e3. Now, knight e3 is an interesting move because it's horrible. It's a horrible move. It attacks the queen, but a concept called continuity. You forgot your knight was actually defending your bishop. So all the queen has to do is go down 3 squares and take a bishop, and it's another fork, actually. It's a really big problem. It's another fork. King f2 is the only move here, believe it or not. King f2 is the only move. But instead of that, black does this because, I don't know. I don't know. You just send me the games. I got to provide explanations. Now white trades because white is completely winning. Fantastic. Now finally a bishop comes off the back rank. And now black's like all out. The problem is that the second black makes 2 pieces off the back rank, white immediately takes with check and then takes the bishop as well. So now white is up 8 points of material, but that really doesn't do the position any justice because black actually has 3 points of pawns. Black has 6 pawns, white has 3. But the pawns don't matter because there's so many pieces on the board. Black only has that 1 knight, and finally that knight moves. But rest assured that that knight will most likely die pretty soon, and it does. Okay, rook, 2 bishops, 3 pawns versus king, and 6 pawns. And you're probably sitting there going, all right, Gotham, you fooled me once in the 5th minute of this video, but now it's the 8th minute of this video. I don't know what the hell this video is all about. Obviously, white is just going to win the game. There is literally no way white does not win this game. Not only is there a way that white does not win this game, there is a way that maybe black wins this game, all right? Like, I'm telling y'all right now, I just make the content. These people, I just record the content. These people make the content, all right? We are nowhere near done. So, how do you win this position? Make sure the pawns don't promote. If you allow a promotion here, like, you gotta go to therapy, okay? So, rook b1, rook b1, rook b1, and then like just go in and take all the pawns. And you can use your pawns to break the pawns apart. If you split the pawns, even better. Okay, bishop a6, obviously take free pawns as well. e4, and push yours. Bring your bishop back, push your pawn. All right, don't just give random checks. Please, for the love of God. Okay, fine, we gave 2 random checks, now we play a4, beautiful. e3, yep. But your bishop controls the entire diagonal. There is literally no forward movement at all anymore. Okay, f4, that's great. a6, king e4. I mean, that's it. White is, it's mate in 4. It's mate in 4. All right, yes, that's it. End the game. It's mate, right there. Okay, you wanted to defend your bishop despite having a 17-point material advantage. Fine, fine. You're not greedy. You're just a perfectionist, all right? I mean, queen d5, you could have just followed the path, but all right. Now, that's a great move by black. That's a very confusing move because now white is stuck between moving the rook this way and losing the bishop, or moving the rook up and allowing promotion. That's actually a very good move. Now, yes, white obviously has mate, but white doesn't see it, so we're just discounting that altogether. So what is white going to play in this very difficult situation? Queen d8 check. Okay, so we find a check, but it's not mate. King slides over. Now we can just go straight down. There is like a 1, 2, 3, like a 1 in 3 chance that you actually go to the right square, because you know you have to give a check. You know that that's a check too. But okay, you slide over because you're really good at the up and down checks. King repeats. Now obviously here are the player's repeated moves. No. Check. Now white was like, damn, I don't know what to do, because if I go this way, they take my bishop, right? Except not at all, like, because that's not... So white was like, I have to still defend my bishop or something. And now black queened, because they just saw that they could do that, right? They just saw that they could do it. I mean, they don't have much other movement, so they decided to make a queen. And now white obviously has 2 legal moves. Bishop blocks, queen takes queen, and you obviously know that white played the move bishop to f1 and blundered queen takes queen. It took black 45 moves, but finally, we got a breakthrough, and now it's just equality. But it's completely insane, because it's queen and 2 pawns for rook and 2 bishops, which is 11-11. I mean, that's completely equal. White still has all the winning chances because 2 bishops and a rook are very strong, but actually this can't make, you know, come on, all right? h3. Gotta play this move, obviously. Now black is winning if black plays queen d1, which basically has a negative chance of happening. It's winning because the threat is e2, and it's actually very hard to stop. For example, if you play the move rook to d3, I play e2 anyway. Very savage. Take, right? We got... Where were we? d1, queen, bishop f1, h3, and now queen d2. Now, queen d2 is an atrocious move, but the idea is correct. You actually want to play queen f2, and then play e2, and, you know, queen f... whatever. But it's losing, because you actually just lined up your queen to this bishop. So rook c4 check is played, and that's it. You just take the queen. Excuse me, you just take the... Okay, thank God. Now, do you take the rook or the bishop? Let's do some math. Wrong. It's not about math anymore. You don't want 5. You want to take this way because you know you are capable of getting a 3rd queen. This is about to be your 3rd queen of the entire game. Now, there is one and only one way to prevent this from happening. It's not simple. You say, oh, it's very easy, just bishop 2e2. That gets you partial credit. You hang a rook. You might still win, but you hang a rook. You should go rook c8. And then if king to d7, you play rook to c3. So the idea of rook c8 is to give this wraparound check. Keep that in mind. But this, you want to find a square where you can fork, and you play rook c3. This is very important. And now, if queen, check, and you win this endgame. Or don't, because you're 500. So, rook c2 is played in the actual game. Now black makes a new queen, and now there is a bishop missing from the board. So now black is completely winning because black has the exact same situation, but just simply there is no dark squared bishop. Okay, fantastic. Now, black is obviously going to win this game. Rook to f2. Now black plays the best move. Just simply the best move, paralyzing these pieces. If you play the move g3 to try to get out, there's f takes g3. The game is just simply lost. You would lose your rook, and then you would get mated. Maybe white should play bishop e2, bishop f1, or bishop e2, king f1 to get out of this. White chooses to play h4. Black says, no h-pawn movement for you. Now white's like, shit, I really don't know what to do. I'm just going to play bishop e2, king e5. This king, if it makes it all the way to g3, just wins the game. Now, white should probably prevent that from happening. I'm not sure if white actually has the capability of preventing that from happening. But king e5 is played, and now white's like, well, I can't just shuffle back and forth. I need to make a stand for myself and stand up to bullying, and I play the move g3. G3 is game over. Because once black takes, white lands themselves in a really unfortunate situation where queen takes f2 is check, and queen to h2 is mate. Queen f2 is also check, g2 and g1 is also mate. So what the hell is our man Guilherme gonna do? Well, he's going to play king to g2. You might as well. Now, there is a famous rule that you teach beginners. You should take something with what's worth less, right? If you're going for a trade, you want to take with what's worth less first, unless you're attacking the king. Unless you're attacking the queen. If you're the king. If you're the only person on the board with the queen, you should probably go in where you're protected. But that could be very scary because you don't know if you're going to lose your queen. That's illegal, though, because you would lose your king, and now either of these two moves are met with queen h2. which is just simply mate. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to find queen h2. However, black is principled and says, I actually want to make a fourth queen because I know that's going to get me bonus points in the GothamChess YouTube video. White plays king to g3. There is no queening, so we have queen to e3. And now Guilherme is like, I could resign, but if I don't, there's a chance I get stalemated. So I'm just going to play king to g2. And I'm just going to lose this game via checkmate rather than going for the resign button. Black takes on e2. Now Guilherme's got a choice of 4 moves. Which one of them is the best, ladies and gentlemen? You have a 25% chance of picking the correct move. You think they're all the same? They're not. They are not all created equal. They're really not. The best move in this position is unquestionably the move king to g3. Because in this position, our antagonist with the black pieces proceeded to promote to their 4th queen of the game and stalemate white.